Have you ever looked at a sock and thought, hey, this would make a great phone case? Well, it seems someone at Apple might have had a similar idea, because they just dropped a new accessory that has the entire internet buzzing, and not necessarily in a good way. Let's talk about the new Apple iPhone Pocket. On Tuesday, Apple announced this new carrying case for its iPhone range, and the price tag is a hefty $129.95. Yes, you heard that right, $230 for what is essentially a novel way to carry your phone. The internet, as you can imagine, had a field day. The mockery came in fast and furious, with many people pointing out its striking resemblance to a piece of everyday knitted footwear. One user on X, formerly known as Twitter, summed it up perfectly, calling it $230 for a cut-up sock, and honestly, when you look at it, you can kind of see their point. Even the heavyweights of the tech world chimed in. The legendary tech YouTuber Marks Brownlee, or MKBHD, called it a litmus test for fans who buy or defend anything Apple releases. It's a bold statement, but it taps into a long-running conversation about Apple's pricing strategy and the unwavering loyalty of its customer base. Is this the product that finally pushes that loyalty to its limit? So, what exactly is this iPhone Pocket? According to Apple's press release, it's not just any old phone holder. It's a limited edition accessory created in collaboration with the renowned Japanese fashion label, Issey Miyake. Now, this is where things get interesting. This isn't the first time these two giants have crossed paths. The late, great fashion designer Issey Miyake famously worked with Apple's co-founder Steve Jobs to create his iconic black turtleneck jumpers. So, there's a bit of history there, a connection to Apple's own legacy. Apple explained that the product was inspired by a piece of cloth, and the core concept came from the idea of creating an additional pocket. It's designed to be a brightly colored, minimalist bag. It comes in two versions, one with a short strap, available in 8 different colors, and one with a long strap, available in 3 colors. The design is simple, almost stark. It's a knitted pouch with a strap, that's it. But it's this very simplicity, combined with the high price, that has drawn so much criticism on social media. The consensus among many is that this proves Apple fans will truly pay for anything. People are questioning the practicality of the design. The bag has an open top and a soft, sock-like structure. One X-user raised a very valid point, saying, "No zip, no structure, and considering how many thefts of iPhones there are these days. No security. It's a legitimate concern. If you're carrying a $1,000 plus phone in a $230 open-top pouch, you might be a little worried about security, especially in a crowded place." The visual comparisons have also been relentless and, frankly, hilarious. Some people have been posting pictures of the actor, Sacha Baron Cohen's his character Bara, suggesting the bright green version of the iPhone Pocket looks a lot like his infamous mankini. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's one of those memes that just hits the nail on the head. But, as with any big tech release, it's not all one-sided. There are people defending the product. They argue that the high price tag isn't just for a phone case. It's for a piece of fashion from Issey Miyake. They see it as a collector's item, a nod to the history of Apple and its connection with Steve Jobs. From this perspective, it's less about function and more about owning a piece of a unique collaboration between two iconic brands. It's wearable art, in a sense. To get a more balanced view, social media consultant and analyst Matt Navarra shared his thoughts with the BBC. He said the price tag seems to be less about function and more about form, branding, and exclusivity. He pointed out that this kind of pricing isn't unusual in the world of luxury fashion or designer collaborations. Think about it. People pay thousands for handbags that, at their core, just hold things. The brand, the design, the exclusivity, that's what you're paying for. However, Navarra also noted that for most consumers, it feels like Apple is testing the limits of brand loyalty, and that's the real question here. We've seen Apple push the boundaries before, like with the $1,000 monitor stand or the $70 polishing cloth. Each time, people joke and complain, but the products still sell. So, is the iPhone Pocket just another one of these tests? Let's break down the two sides of this. On one hand, you have the critics. They see a ridiculously overpriced, impractical product that looks like a sock. They see it as a symbol of corporate greed and a test of consumer gullibility. They question the value, the security, and the sanity of anyone who would buy it. They argue that for $230, you could get a high-quality, secure, and feature-rich bag from a top-tier brand, or, about 100 pairs of actual socks. On the other hand, you have the defenders and the fashion enthusiasts. They see a limited edition designer item. They appreciate the collaboration with a legendary fashion house like Accessory. They understand the historical context with Steve Jobs. For them, it's not just a phone case. It's a statement piece, a collectible. The price is justified by the brand name and the scarcity. It's like buying a piece of Supreme or a limited-run sneaker. The function is secondary to the form and the brand prestige. So, where do we land on this? Is Apple laughing all the way to the bank, or have they finally misjudged their audience? The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. This product clearly isn't for everyone. It's not for the practical, budget-conscious consumer. It's aimed squarely at a niche market, the die-hard Apple fan, the fashion collector, and the person who wants to signal their status with exclusive accessories. Apple knows its market segments incredibly well. They know there's a group of people who will buy this precisely because it's expensive and exclusive. For them, the mockery online only adds to the allure. It makes the product more talked about, more controversial, and therefore, more desirable. It's a classic luxury marketing strategy. But for the average person, it's just another example of Apple being, Apple, pushing the boundaries of what people are willing to pay for their ecosystem. It sparks debate, it generates headlines, which is free marketing, and it reinforces their position as a premium, luxury brand. What I find most fascinating is how this one small accessory can reveal so much about brand culture, consumer psychology, and the intersection of tech and fashion. It's a conversation starter. It makes us question what value really means. Is value determined by utility, or is it determined by brand, story, and exclusivity? So, what do you think? Is the iPhone Pocket a brilliant piece of fashion collaboration or a complete ripoff? Is it a must-have for collectors or just a very expensive sock? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you'd ever consider buying it or what you think is the most overpriced tech accessory you've ever seen. It's a wild world out there. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this little dive into the latest Apple controversy, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. I'll see you in the next one.